Hi, graduates. Does that feel amazing to hear? It should. Thank you so much for that very warm welcome, and I am so honored to be joining you all today, especially on the stage with Regent James Farnsworth, Vice Provost Bob McMaster, Dean Carol Strohecker, Mace Bearer William Pedersen, Associate Deans Abby Asojo and Sue Chu, Assistant Deans Trevor Miller and Steve Yang, and all the other faculty and staff. And of course, welcome to all the friends and families of the graduates. This is a very special ceremony, and while you've already introduced me, I'm going to just give you a little bit of background why I'm up here speaking to you on this special day. My name is Ambreen Tariq. As the dean mentioned, I started Brown People Camping, which is a social media initiative that focuses on promoting the outdoors and ensuring access and justice for everyone who wants to get out on their land, and really discussing the history of it, the significance of it, and where we see it going in the future. I'm also the author of Fatima's Great Outdoors, which is my first children's book that was published last spring by Penguin Random House. But more importantly, I'm a proud Minnesotan. Yeah. My family and I moved to the United States when I was 8 years old, and my book actually takes place in a state park outside of Minneapolis. I spent my formative years transitioning into my new American life actually in Brooklyn Park, which is not that far from here and also not that far from the site of where George Floyd was murdered on May 25th, 2020. You all were students then, early into the quarantine, learning to balance schoolwork while adjusting to a new normal of isolation and a mass public health crisis. I can't imagine how difficult those times must have been for you. The fear, anxiety, loneliness, instability. While you were struggling with all of that, you turned on the news or you opened up Twitter and the headlines started rolling in about the murder of George Floyd. Minneapolis was hurting, Minnesota was hurting, and my heart ached personally for Minnesota all the way from DC where I live and where I stood in support of Black Lives Matter. I recall hearing reactions from people around the country just shocked and startled at how such a terrible thing could happen in such an unassuming Midwestern state like Minnesota. But having grown up here, I can tell you for a fact that injustice has no permanent residence, it has no profile, and it flourishes in silence. We moved around a lot when I was growing up, and I've lived in a lot of parts of this country. So believe me when I tell you, there isn't a corner in this country that has the moral superiority to claim they are free of injustice and institutional racism. Growing up as an immigrant kid, I was taught to put my head down, mind my own business, and run the opposite direction of when I saw trouble. I was taught these lessons because I came from a community and culture where we didn't trust law enforcement because we didn't believe that average people like us stood a chance seeking accountability against those who abuse their powers. But growing up in Minnesota, I gained the tools of a great education that allowed me to dedicate my career to disrupting the fertility of silence where injustice flourishes. I started college in California just a few days after 9/11, and I spent my undergraduate years cutting my teeth on anti-war activism and promoting and advocating for civil liberties. While in law school, I delved into environmental justice and regulation, learning how to advocate for those communities of color and low-income communities impacted by corporate malfeasance. I now spend my day job, enforcing federal labor laws for the federal government and ensuring that workers in this country are protected against labor exploitation. So while I was taught by my hardworking parents to run from trouble, I exhausted their immigrant hearts by doing everything I could to run straight towards it. I stand up here today as a proud troublemaker and proponent of not keeping your head down and minding your own business. I stand up here today to congratulate all of you on your graduation and assure you that you can be justice-oriented and still have a successful career. So congratulations to the graduating classes of 2020, 2021, and 2022. There are only a few moments like this that you're going to have in your life, when everyone rises to their feet at the occasion of you. So take a bow, take the admiration, sink it into your bones and believe it. You did something amazing and extraordinary and truly worthy of celebration. So savor it, because moments like these don't come around very often. Maybe you're the first in your family to graduate from college or get a PhD, or maybe you come in a long line of professionals and pridefully take your place in that line-up legacy. Whatever this day means to you and your community, we all acknowledge the hard work it took for you to be sitting in these seats with these dangling tassels and beaming faces. You did it. Savor this moment, because from here on out, the memory of this day will become glowing embers in your mind by which you warm your hands through the coming nights. Graduates, I'm here to tell you those nights are going to get pretty cold. As you begin your careers, you begin your grind. You're going to be tired and anxious. You're going to be overworked and underpaid. And for many of you, you're gonna be broke. The nights are going to get dark and cold, but hold fast to this moment, this day of your graduation, which represents our faith in your perseverance through that impending winter. At this graduation ceremony, we applaud not only the hard work you've put in to getting here, but the summit at whose feet you stand today, that summit being the careers and professional legacy you are about to ascend. We rise to our feet with hope for all the good you're about to do in this world, using the very privileged tools of a higher education. I'm here to tell you today that you are a new kind of privileged. You've got skills and a box full of sharpened tools in the shape of a degree. You will build and fix and create and shape. You're going to change the world with everything you do. And the test of privilege is, will you do it for the better? What you do now with that degree in hand is up to you. There are no more classes or exams. There is no track left to run. You are in a race now with yourself, and the course that lies ahead of you is shaped only by your own ambition. So is it enough to simply want greatness? Is it enough to strive for acknowledgments and promotions? Is it enough to seek validation through spotlights and twinkling awards? No, it's not. I'm here to tell you today, as you begin the journey of your careers, and what you will undoubtedly look back at one day with tear-filled eyes and refer to as your life's work, that to want greatness is never the beginning of greatness. You must want more for yourself than industry accolades and supremacy above your colleagues and peers. You must ache to make this world a better place through your labor. You should feel entitled now to make positive change with the privileges you've gained with a higher education. You should feel entitled to carving out more equitable landscapes and living spaces and empowering others through the work that you do. Because you're privileged now, that means you have means to know more and do more, and in so doing, doing it damn well. I'm also here today to share with you the secret to success. It's a secret because the world would rather you believe that success is a thing of magic and alluring mystery rather than the truth, which isn't glamorous or romantic in any way. The secret to success is that there is no secret. There is no magical incantation or potion or combination of rituals that will open up the door of success and greatness for you. Success is simply the end result of grinding it out, day in and day out. You get up early, you work late, you feel tired, you cry in a bathroom stall at work, you wonder if you made the right choices, you get drive-through on the way home for dinner, and then you shame yourself because you didn't save money and cook instead. You smile and you tell your parents everything's going great. And then you take a deep sigh when you hang up the phone and you wonder if it's all worth it. And then you get up the next morning and you do it all over again. You try and you fail and you try and you fail. And then you get up and you wipe the dirt off your hands and your knees and you put a smile on that face and you fix your hair and you do it all over again. You grind it out day in and day out. It's not pretty, but you keep showing up. And that is the secret to success. And if you strike gold by doing anything less than that, it was just pure luck. The truth is we make our own opportunities. And we cannot simply wait for them to be handed to us. Vice versa, you cannot accept rejection as a verdict of your potential and sit back down. When one door shuts, you pivot and you find another way into a new opportunity. Just like design, you are responsible for shaping the landscapes that lie ahead of you. You start the company, you make the bid, you propose the project, you solicit that contract. You cannot be dismayed when a door is shut in your face. You find a way in, you pull up a chair, and you take a seat at that table. And you never, ever believe, as a matter of fact, that there isn't room for you at that table. And through it all, remember this: success is winning with integrity. It is never worth it to cut corners at the expense of your workers or product integrity or customer service or quality service. It is never worth it to be less than your best self or produce less than your best product. Whether you studied landscape architecture or product design, ergonomics or interior design, retail merchandising or graphic design, what all of you have in common is that you are being asked to create and innovate, to see the world and the way we use and impact it in new and meaningful ways that strengthen process, access, and expression. Your labor is going to have a profound impact on making communities more connected and people more empowered. So carry yourself with that purpose and never lose sight of your principles. You are all about to enter extremely competitive industries where the temptation is around every profit margin to undermine someone else and pocket more money for yourself. I promise you, it's never worth it. Making the right choice in the face of competition to do right by your clients, colleagues, employees, that's success. So as you begin your careers and get ready to grind it out, through those long days and cold nights, remember today. Remember this feeling of success you have already achieved. Remember the pride that came from working hard and winning with integrity. Remember that you are capable of greatness, and that from here on out, you will never take for granted the potential you hold to change the world through your honest labor. Thank you, and congratulations. If I may, I would like to take a selfie with the graduating classes of 3 years. So, big smiles. Thank you all, congratulations, and go kick butt.